Good evening. Appreciate everyone able to come out tonight and learn a little bit more information about 64th Avenue, project that we'll be doing over the next two construction seasons, so in 2021 and 2022. So the project itself is on 64th Avenue from 38th Street to 33rd Street. Brief agenda, we'll do some team introductions, project overview, talk a little bit about special assessments, and then there will be an opportunity for questions. So here with the City of Fargo, we have Jason Leonard, our project manager. Also have Dan Eberhardt and Doug Durgan with the Special Assessment Department. And then myself, I'm Tom Knockmoose, the Assistant City Engineer. This project was designed by KLJ Engineering, and their project manager, Scott Middaugh, is here tonight as well. So again, this is just an overview of the project that we'll be talking about. This year, we've already completed a new project on 64th Avenue from 25th Street to 33rd Street. Like I said, over the next two construction seasons, we'll be working on a project going from 33rd Street west over the interstate to 38th Street. And then we'll also be working on some other projects, not tied to this one, but ultimately work with this project. Going north on 38th Street to tie into heading north up to 52nd Avenue. And then we'll also be eventually doing some work west of 38th Street on 64th. So just brief description of this project, 3-lane roadway, urban concrete street, and be overpass structure over I-29. At this time, no interstate access would be incorporated as part of this project. But we are looking at implementing that in the future. Concrete pavement, curb and gutter, center turn lane with a designated left turn throughout the corridor. Also be doing some sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water main, and then there will be a pedestrian tunnel under 64th, which allows for a grade separated pedestrian crossing, shared use paths on both sides of 64th, and then streetlights as well. So here's an example of a pedestrian tunnel crossing. This is the one that we installed this year on 64th Avenue. And so very similar to this on the west side of the interstate we'll be installing. So a little bit on timing, bid date is planned for November 13th of this year. Start date, we don't know yet. That'll be determined once we have a contractor, but most likely the spring of 2021. And then in 2021, what they'll be working on is underground utilities and then grading and earthwork, basically adding the fill necessary for the bridge over the interstate. And then the remaining concrete paving and the bridge construction will be complete by the end of 2022. Just a few details and impacts about the project. So the existing frontage road on the west side of the interstate will be closed to through traffic for the entire duration of the project. The portion of 64th Avenue that we constructed this year between 25th and 33rd Street will remain open during the entire duration of the project, but you should anticipate increased construction traffic along that stretch, because that will be one of the main access points for the project. There will be some impacts on I-29 as well, some reduced speeds and shoulder closures in both 21 and 22. And then there are some nighttime closures, and that's needed for the bridge construction. But it will be limited to just overnight and limited to 8 days. And there will be a posted detour during those nighttime closures. So a little bit about the project cost. So the estimated cost of construction is about $16.7 million. Had to acquire some right-of-way and easements as well. That was about $3.1 million. Relocate some utilities. And then we do have some miscellaneous fees and contingencies that we add in as well. So the total project cost is about $25.3 million. And here's just a breakdown of how that is funded then. So about 3.8 million, or about 15% is sales tax. Cass Rural Water pays a small amount, about $393,000, about 1% of the project. We are fortunate enough to have federal funds on this project, a little over 11 million, which makes up the largest share of the project, about 44%. And then special assessments are about 10.4 million, which is about 40% of the total project. So just a little bit more about special assessments, and I'll just mention now that we will have some contact information on here if you have any more specific questions about special assessments. You can certainly reach out to Dan or Doug, and they could help you with those. So 64th Avenue is an arterial roadway, and so we have a arterial band, which is just really an area that is that helps pay for the special assessments associated with the project. And so then the amount that is paid is based on both location and zoning, and then there's an indirect and direct type of assessment. For those that are directly fronting, pay a direct. Those are that are further away from the project, pay an indirect. And then again, the bridge overpass, there's an assessment for that, and that's based on location and zoning again. So with that, here's the contact information, and we'll kind of end the presentation and just have a conversation of any questions that anyone might have. Thank you.